Today we're going to talk about how to build a brand that gets up to 1 million views monthly in less than 3 months using only one AI tool. A little bit of my background, I've been working marketing and content related industries for over at least 8 to 10 years. I had my personal Instagram account, 300 followers. Those were my friends. I would judge everybody that was actually doing content. I got into a cocktail competition. In order to get to the finals, there was a marketing, a content element involved. They will select you if you get the attention of the people they want the attention, which is the consumers. And I didn't have much resources, and I didn't have much knowledge about the issue. I did know one thing: the brand wanted the attention of their customers. I was a bartender. I naturally had that attention, and I had the opportunity to work in a very relevant bar, a famous bar. I was a figure of authority for these consumers in terms of cocktails, and I figured, what can I offer the viewers, the consumer of the content, that will add value to them? Teach them how to make cocktails easily without that many tools or fancy ingredients. And that's exactly what I did. And it started very low production, recording with my cell phone, until I got some traction, and eventually I could, through an exchange kind of thing, get a friend to help me do some more produced videos. In less than 3 months, I got my Instagram account from 350 followers, something like that, to 4,500 followers, and by the end of the competition I had almost 7,000 followers. Because of that, I was able to land the job working for this big, we're talking multinational liquor brand, one of the largest family-owned alcohol brands in the world. Eventually I got to be the brand ambassador for that brand in Argentina, and eventually I got to be the brand ambassador for that brand in Argentina and Paraguay and Peru. And not only that, but I was ranked second in engagement for the whole Latin America market, only second to the tequila brand ambassador in Mexico. So I think I did pretty well. Another thing that I do was I helped my boss grow his LinkedIn from 3,000 followers to 15,000 followers, and I got him to multiply times 5 the amount of customers he had and times 10 the amount of employees that he has, mainly by doing content and establishing him as a figure of authority and using that as leverage to secure more meetings, to secure more sales, and to grow the business. I also helped him develop finish his book, publish his book, of course improving his website, but mainly the main thing was content. And another thing that I did, that is what brings us to this video, is as kind of a side project and an experiment, I created an Instagram page for political news, and my premise was I'm only gonna use AI to do this. I'm gonna be as efficient as I can, and I wanna see how much traction I can get in the least amount of time possible. And my original goals were, I wanna get between 2,000 and 5,000 views per video by the first or second month. Well, to my surprise, I outperformed my initial goals, and I ended up the third month I was already getting some videos with more than 30,000 views. At the beginning it was just one every 2-3 videos. Eventually most of them started getting between 10 and 20 and 30,000. Then I got a couple of 100,000 views, a couple of 300,000 views. I did that for 3 months. Last month I got to almost 1 million views, only in 3 months, and only using AI. So that's what I want to talk about today, and why I want to share this with you, because for every business owner, every small business owner, or everybody that's trying to sell something, either a service or a product, and they are an entrepreneur, small business owner, resources are limited, and more importantly, time is limited. So why I think this is a good strategy for that kind of person, for that kind of entrepreneur? Because the investment is almost nothing, and the return is amazing, as you're gonna see. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna decide which platform you're gonna use. For some businesses, it's LinkedIn. For some businesses, it's Instagram. For some, it's both. For some, it's YouTube. Let's say, for the sake of this example, that it's Instagram because it is where I did it and I want to be as accurate as possible. So let's assume you already have your brand, your service, your product, and your style, some sort of style, which is something that also is not written in stone. It can evolve, especially once when you're starting, because when you're starting, nobody's gonna remember one post that you did 2 months ago that got 50 views or 20 likes, and if you change the style, no big deal, right? So first of all, you have to decide on certain archetypes of content. I always talk about informative content, I talk about educational content, I talk about documentary content, documenting your journey. In my case, in my example, this was a political page. So this is the way I did it. I would, first of all, every day browse the news, pay attention to what was happening, picking from 2 to 3, from 2 to 4 relevant news from political figures or organizations that were happening that day. And what I would do is I would pick a new, and again, I would have different styles, archetypes of posting. Some of them were serious. Some of them were getting to the point, to what's underneath. So what I would do is I would usually compile pictures of this news. Sometimes this news would have the image of a person that is, for example, there was a case in which a politician was suspected of basically stealing, and he was in a picture with a lady from the same political party that the newspaper said that she was approaching him to support him after he has been denounced, or after he had been accused of stealing. But this lady had also been accused of stealing, right? So what I did is I used AI with a pretty simple prompt. I got this picture of the newspaper posting with both the lady and the gentleman. Used AI to animate the picture inside the actual screenshot of the newspaper, and I got them to both start crying and drying their tears in with stacks of money, stacks of US dollar, right? They were like, I'm so sad, and drying each other's tears with money. So that's the graphic part, the animated part of the post. I will also do my own research using AI, gathering information from all sources regarding these accusations and their defenses and their explanations and their excuses and the people that were accusing them. I will come up with a summary of all of that and then give AI my own version and ask the AI to come up with a text using my tone, my thoughts, everything that I would tell the AI. I would record an audio and send it. I would also tell the AI, I would add a prompt saying, write this post so that it matches a video that was generated using this prompt, and I would paste the prompt that I used for the generation of the video or the animation of the picture. That would give me a funny, engaging, powerful graphic hook with the video of these two politicians drying each other's tears with money, while at the same time the underlying analysis and more serious review of the actual news, right? In our cases, I would be making more funny style posts. Although this one had some elements of humor, there was this politician in Argentina that was having a very rough moment. He was being accused because his party members were accused of corruption. Inflation was running high again. There was more poverty. There was no investments. He was also involved in lots of troubles to other countries, not always for political reasons, and the people were angry. So I could have done an analysis of all that situation, but when you're creating content, you need to balance things out, right? If you are always creating content that, for example, requires a lot of research, you're gonna take a lot of time always. So you need to balance it out. And my way of doing that was, okay, let's do some funny, real. So I animated this picture of the guy, of the politician, and I animated it so that he would be running from a crowd, escaping. The crowd was agitating newspapers with all the things that I mentioned: inflation rises, poverty rises, the cases of corruption, and they were all screaming at him and chasing him. And this guy is running. This guy, his suit is all messed up, and he's getting on a plane and he's running away. And that was it. That was the real. For the text, I would use one-liner, two-liner, because when it's a humorous video, the content is mostly the video itself. People are not gonna look at the description that much. So I would do one or two lines, a catchy hook for the text, and then just the video. That's another type of content that I would do. There's a trick with this, because when you animate a picture and it's a short animation and you add a lengthy text explaining the whole situation, like in the first case that I talked about, it's gonna take them longer to read the text than it's gonna take the video to play and then play again. So what will happen is that people will read the post and the video will play in the background for like 3 or 4 times, and this is telling the algorithm this video is worth watching, and it's gonna recommend it to more people. Very short videos, loop style videos accompanied with some text, meaningful text, were really working as well. Because of this thing and because of the content in the text as well, right? And this is something that we're gonna talk. I started posting 3 to 4 times a week. When I got the hang of it, I was doing 2 or 3 a day, and that was when the page really blew up. We're talking, I got to 200k views the first month. Remember, I started from scratch. Second month, I was near 600,000, and third month 1 million views. So I couldn't believe it. I was expecting that it was gonna work, but I wasn't expecting I would work so fast. And I work a full-time job. I go to the gym, I come back, I continue to work. So I would do this before dinner every day. When I was inspired, maybe I would do 2, 3, or 4 videos the same day. That's when it really blew up. Now, a couple of best practices or advices. Sometimes, well, this is a classic. You put a lot of effort, you put a lot of time, you put a lot of intent into a piece of content, it sucks. 3 likes, 50 views, no comments, no engagement, and you're thinking, I put 3 hours of my life in this. And then you have I'm gonna do this funny video in 30 seconds because I think it's I think it's funny, I think I can do it, I think I can make it work, and it's gonna take me less than 20 minutes. And those kind of videos explode. So the key is, for me, consistency and volume. Consistency and volume. Why? Because it is easier to create and then see what works than to create a perfect piece of content. You're never gonna create a perfect piece of content. And even if you do, you're gonna need more than one. So the key is volume and consistency. Volume and consistency. That's what the system rewards. Now, we're talking about doing this with AI. So I'm gonna tell you the tool I used. You can use whatever. I used Grok. Why? Because it's 30-40 bucks a month, and it has both the capacity to generate text, the capacity to generate image, and the capacity to generate videos with a simple prompt. So all my stuff was in the same tool. That made it a lot easier. It's easy to use. You can even ask Grok to generate the prompt for Grok's video or image creation tool. So it's pretty self-contained. Now, AI is a tool, okay? AI is a tool. AI is not an autonomous, intelligent form. It's a reactive tool that runs on statistics, and it's only gonna work as long as you make it work and as long as you are making sense of the stuff you're trying to do. If you don't put any thought, energy, intent, and research behind what you're doing, it is not gonna work. We have to get out of this state of mind that AI is gonna do stuff for me. No, AI is not gonna do stuff for you. You're gonna do stuff faster and more efficiently using AI, but it still needs to be your brain. You are the main ingredient. So that's how I created a social media page that got to almost 1 million views in less than 3 months. Hope you enjoy it, and if you're interested in more, let me know in the comments, and I will tell you specifically my process to create each piece of content. See you in the next one.